You are watching Fair Notebook Channel, turning pages, building futures.
Welcome to our channel Fair Notebook. Today we are going to do poem of class 6th, The Kites. In this video we are going to do poem explanation, summary and question answers. The Kites. The Kite is a joyful and lively poem that describes the beauty and excitement of flying a kite in the open sky. Written by Harry Ben, the poem shows how a kite dances, dips and soars with the wind. Through simple language and vivid images, the poet helps us imagine the movement of the kite as if it were alive. The poem also reminds us of the happiness, freedom and childhood fun connected with flying kites on a bright windy day. Let us do these activities before we read the lesson. Question: have you ever flown a kite or seen someone fly it? Where? When? Answer: yes. I have seen people flying kites. I have also flown a kite with my friends on the rooftop open ground near my house. I usually see people flying kites during festivals like Makar Sankranti and on windy afternoons. Question: describe the kite colors, shape, design of tail, any other detail. Answer: the kite was bright in color, mainly red and yellow. It was diamond shaped and made of thin paper. It had a long tail with small ribbon bows tied at equal distances. The kite looked very beautiful when it moved with the wind. Question: what did you think when you saw the kite up in the sky? Answer: when I saw the kite flying high in the sky, I felt very happy and excited. I wished I could also fly like the kite and touch the clouds. It looked free and joyful in the open sky. Search the internet for videos on kite festivals and watch them with your teacher and classmates. Share the things with your teacher that you saw and what the people were doing. Answer: when I watched the kite festival videos, I saw hundreds and thousands of colorful kites flying high in the sky. People were standing on rooftops, open fields and beaches flying their kites and watching the sky full of kites. Some people were competing to see whose kite could fly highest or whose kite string could cut another kite during competitions. There were also big giant kites of different shapes and designs that looked amazing. People looked happy and excited and everyone was enjoying the festival together. Second, would you like to participate in this kind of festival? Why? Answer: yes, I would like to participate because it looks very fun and exciting to fly kites with so many people. I would love to see so many colorful kites in the sky. It seems like a happy and lively celebration where people laugh, play games and enjoy together. You can change this answer to say no if you don't want to participate and explain why. Third, what kind of kite would you like to fly? Answer: I would like to fly a bright, colorful kite with long streamers so it looks beautiful in the sky. I might choose colors like blue, red, yellow and green. I would also like to try a giant shaped kite or a kite that looks like a bird or dragon because it would be extra fun and amazing to watch soar high. Look at the picture and complete the sentences. Share your responses with your teacher. Windy, kite, flying, birds, sky, looking, has ribbons. First, I can see kite, birds, and sky in the picture. Second, the weather in the picture is windy. Third, the kite is flying high in the sky. Fourth, the child is looking from below. Fifth, the tail of the kite has ribbons. Now, think and answer. First, list two more things that you want to add to the picture. Answer: I would add fluffy white clouds and some colorful flowers on the grass. Second, if I were the child, I would answer: feel very happy while flying the kite. Third, if I were the kite, I would answer: fly high in the blue sky and dance with the wind. Poem explanation. Stanza 1. Up in the air, see the kites fly, like colored birds in the wind-whipped sky. Explanation. The poem begins with the speaker looking up at the sky and noticing kites flying high. The kites are bright and colorful, moving freely in the strong wind, and they look just like birds soaring through the air. This stanza simply paints a happy picture of a windy day when kites are dancing in the sky. Stanza 2. I wish I were small and light as air. I would climb on a kite and sail up there. Explanation. After watching the kites, the speaker starts to daydream. They wish they were tiny and weightless, light enough to ride on a kite. If that were possible, they would climb onto one and let it carry them up into the sky. This shows the speaker's longing to fly and feel free like the kites. Stanza 3. Then I would drift upon the paper wings and hear the songs that the wild wind sings. Explanation. In the daydream, the speaker imagines floating gently on the kite's thin paper wings. As they drift higher, they would listen to the sound of the strong wind rushing past. It feels like the wind is singing wild, joyful songs. This part makes flying feel peaceful and magical, with the wind almost coming alive like a singer. Stanza 4. What fun it would be to look right down over the park and the rooftops of town. Explanation. The speaker thinks about how exciting it would be to look straight down from away up high. They would see the whole park below them and all the rooftops of the houses in the town spread out like a map. It sounds like a thrilling adventure to view the world from such a high and different angle. Stanza 5. The people below would stand and stare and wish they were me high in the air. Explanation. Finally, the speaker imagines the people on the ground looking up, amazed and a little envious. Those people would stop whatever they were doing, stare at the speaker flying so high, and wish they could be up there too. This ending shows how wonderful and special the speaker feels in their daydream. Everyone else would want the same freedom and joy. Summary of the poem. The poem is about a child's imagination while watching kites fly in the wind. The speaker watches the colorful kites and wishes they were small enough to hop on one and fly away. The speaker imagines what it would be like to glide through the clouds, listen to the whistling wind, and look down at the tiny parks and houses below. In the end, the speaker thinks about how wonderful it would feel to have everyone on the ground looking up at them in wonder, wishing they could be flying high in the sky too. Essentially, it is a poem about the joy of dreaming and the desire to see the world from a brand new perspective. Question answers of the poem. Let us discuss. Read the poem silently. As you read, mark the given statements as true or false. First, the child is looking at the kites. True. Second, the kites look like birds of different colors. True. Third, it was a rainy day. False. Fourth, the child wants to be like a kite. True. Fifth, the child wishes to climb on a kite. True. Sixth, the kite is made of cloth and plastic. False. Seventh, the child wants to ride the kite. True. Eighth, the child knows they would have fun. True. Ninth, the child wants to look at the kite from a rooftop. False. 10th, the child would like to look at people down below. True. 11th, the child knows that the people would stare. True. Complete the following sentences. First, the poet says that the kites are like colored birds. See the kites fly like colored birds in the sky. The kites have been compared to birds because they fly high in the sky and look colorful like birds. Second, the child wishes to be like air. I wish I were small and as light as air. The child wishes to be as light as air. The child wishes this to be able to climb on a kite and fly. The poet uses simile in first and second to compare the kites with color birds and the quality of being light as air. The poet uses like and as to compare. Do you think that the use of simile in the poem helps us imagine better when we read the poem? Share your thoughts with your teacher and classmates. Answer. The poet uses similes comparing one thing to another using like or as to help us imagine the scene better. Like colored birds, this helps us imagine the kites moving gracefully and looking vibrant against the sky. Light as air, this helps us feel how weightless the child wants to be so they can float. Find a set of words from the poem that begin with the same consonant sound. Stanza 1. Which consonant sound do both words begin with? Wind whipped. Stanza 3. Which consonant sound do both words begin with? Wild wind. This is called alliteration. For example, big bright blue bag, funny fan, etc. Create 4 other sets of words using alliteration. Big blue balloon, funny flying fish, happy hopping horse, silent shining stars, slippery snake slid slowly, 2 tiny tigers, crunchy candy cookies. Fourth, in the last stanza, the 2 words that the poet repeats are high, high, to tell us that the kite flying very high. Fifth, study each stanza and underline the rhyming words from the end of each line. Also, circle the end words in the stanzas that you not rhyme. Stanza 1. Rhyming words fly, sky. Non-rhyming words air, birds. Stanza 2. Rhyming words air, there. Non-rhyming words small, kite. Stanza 3. Rhyming words wings, sings. non-rhyming verse upon songs. Stanza 4th, rhyming verse down, town, non-rhyming verse be, park. Stanza 5th, rhyming verse stair, air, non-rhyming verse below me. Let us think and reflect. Read the given lines from the poem and answer the following questions. What fun it would be to look right down over the park and the rooftops of the town. Circle the word that doesn't share the same feeling as fun, joy, excitement, care, happiness. Answer is care. The word that doesn't share the same feeling as fun is care, reason, fun, joy, excitement, and happiness all express positive and enjoyable feelings. Care doesn't express enjoyment, so it is different. Question: which line tells us that poet was somewhere above? Answer: based on the lines, the line that tells us the poet was somewhere above is to look right down. Explanation: the phrase looked right down implies that the poet is at a higher elevation than the objects being viewed. This is further supported by the next lines, which mention looking over the park and rooftops of town, indicating a bird's eye view from above. Answer the following questions. Question: how does the poet describe the kites in the first two lines? Answer: the poet describes the kites as flying up in the air. The first stanza also compares the kites to colored birds moving through the sky. Question: why does the child say that they have to climb a tree first to get onto the kite? Answer: actually, the poem doesn't say the child has to climb a tree. Instead, the child says, I would climb on a kite. The child imagines being small and as light as air, so they could jump directly onto the kite and sail away. Question: what are the songs that the kite hears when flying at the top of the kite? Answer: the child hears the song that the wild wind sings. The poet imagines drifting on paper wings while listening to the sound of the wind. Question: why did the people look up at the child and stare? Why they stare? Answer: the people looked up and stared because they saw the child flying high in the air on a kite, which was surprising and unusual. If I saw that, I would feel amazed, excited, and happy, and I would wish I could fly like that too. Question: if you were the kite carrying the child, what would you tell them? Answer: if I were the kite, I would tell the child, hold on tightly, enjoy the wind, and don't be afraid. Let's fly high and have fun. Now, complete the given conversation by filling the blanks with some parts of a kite from picture. Beena, I like the long tail at the end of my kite. What is your kite like? Saroj, my kite's cover is bright. The spine is black. Beena, oh, wonderful. My kite's line is attached to the reel that wrap it. I really like it. Saroj, did you know that the tip of a kite is called a nose? Beena, wonderful. Thanks for letting me know. Let's go and fly our pretty kites. Let us create a poem using words in a kite. The first line is the subject. Keep this to one word. Use a noun, kite. The second line is two describing words for the noun. Pretty, colorful. Line 3 includes three action words. Flying, floating, soaring. Line 4 uses two words that describe the action words. Quickly, happily. Line 5 is one word that has the same meaning as the subject, synonymous. Paper bird. Kite, pretty, colorful, flying, floating, soaring, quickly, happily, paper bird. This is called a cinquain poem. It is a 5-line poem that describes a person, a place, or a thing. Now create a cinquain poem yourself on anything you like. Butterfly, delicate, bright, dancing, fluttering, gliding, gently, gracefully, beauty. Another example, ocean, deep blue, crashing, swirling, rolling, powerfully, endlessly, sea. Next example, bird, small, cheerful, singing, flying, hoping, sweetly, freely, feather. The poet uses the word fly and drift to tell us about the kite's movement. Circle the words that match with the drift movement. You can choose more than one word. Slow, fast, quick, upward, downward, round and round, float. Answer, slow, round and round, float. Second, study some other words about the kite's movement and share what type of movement they show. You can look at one for the type of movement. Glide, drive, soar, swoop, circle. Word glide. Type of movement, smooth, slow movement. Dive, fast, downward movement. Soar, flying high upward. Swoop, quick downward movement. Circle, round and round movement. Fourth, the poet has used expressions like up in the air, look right down, stay up there, stand and stare. First, read how these expressions are used in the poem. Answer, up in the air means high above the ground in the sky. In the poem, the kites are flying up in the air. Second, look right down means to look directly downward from a high place. In the poem, the speaker imagines looking right down at the park and town from the kite. Third, stay up there means to remain in a high place. In the poem, the speaker wants to sail up and stay up there in the sky. Fourth, stand and stare means to stop and look at something with amazement. In the poem, people below would stand and stare at someone flying on a kite. Example sentences using these expressions: up in the air, the balloon floated up in the air during the birthday party. The bird flew up in the air and disappeared into the clouds. Look right down. From the top of the building, I could look right down at the busy street. Standing on the mountain, we could look right down into the valley. Stay up there. The cat climbed the tree and decided to stay up there all afternoon. I want to stay up there on the Ferris wheel and enjoy the view. Stand and stare. Everyone stopped to stand and stare at the beautiful rainbow. The children would stand and stare at the magic show in wonder. Page number 163 for transcript.
The kites. Hello everyone. I am happy to share with you some details about the Kite Festival. It is a popular festival in India and it takes place during Makar Sankranti in the month of January. People can even be seen flying kites from their terraces and rooftops and taking part in kite flying competitions. This festival is celebrated as Uttarayan in western India. The festival gives everyone a chance to look at kites of different shapes, sizes and colors. Gujarat is the main center of celebrations, but Uttarayan is also celebrated in Rajasthan and Telangana. In Karnataka, the tourism department has also been organizing the kite festival once each year. Punjab also celebrates this festival of kites during Baisakhi and Basant Panchami. Kite flying is a tradition that is deep-rooted in Indian culture, and the kite festival is one that is eagerly awaited. This is also a reason why people across India also fly kites to celebrate Independence Day. Happy kite flying to! Happy kite flying to all of you!
Listen about the kite festival in India. As you listen, circle the words that are not correct. Then, listen again and write the correct words. Refer to page 163 for transcript. Based on the text about the kite festival in India, here are the corrections. 1. Kite festival is celebrated during the month of June. Correct word. January. The festival takes place during Makar Sankranti in January. 2. The International Kite Festival is named Uttarayan in eastern India. Correct word. Western. Uttarayan is celebrated in western India. 3. Uttarayan is mainly celebrated in Gujarat, but also in Maharashtra and Telangana. Correct word. Rajasthan. The text mentions Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Telangana. 4. During the kite festival, we can see kites of different shapes, sizes and colors. This statement is correct. No changes needed. 5. In Karnataka, the tourism department organizes the kite festival every year. This statement is correct. The text says they organize it once each year. 6. The Punjab region celebrates Basant Panchami and Baisakhi by flying kites. Correct sentence, no change needed. The Punjab region celebrates Basant Panchami and Baisakhi by flying kites. 7. People of India also enjoy flying kites on Earth Day. Correct word, Independence Day. The text says people fly kites to celebrate Independence Day.
Let us write. Imagine yourself as a kite. In pairs, first discuss all the following hints. What shape of kite are you? What colors do you have? What other parts of yourself are you happy about? Where are you? Who do you belong to? What activities do you do? What are your friends? Do you have any message for humans? Now write a paragraph of about 100 words with the title I am a kite. Answer: I am a kite. I am a beautiful diamond shaped kite with bright red and yellow colors. I have a long flowing tail that dances behind me, and I am very proud of my colorful ribbons. Right now, I am soaring high up in the clear blue sky, held by a young boy named Arjun who loves me dearly. Every day, I play with my kite friends in the wind, spinning and gliding freely. We race each other through the clouds and enjoy the gentle breeze. My message to all humans is simple: never stop dreaming and reaching for the sky. Just like me, you can fly high if you believe in yourself and let the wind of hope lift you up. Let us explore. First, the mention of kites exists in ancient Indian texts. It can be found in the poetry of the 13th century Marathi saint and poet Namdev. In his poems and gathas, he called a kite a gudi, and there is a mention that kites were made from kagad, paper. Second, have a look at some of the different types of kites. Choose which one is commonly seen. Answer: below are some common types of kites. The one most commonly seen in India is the diamond shape? Diamond kite. The most common kite, easy to fly and were popular during festivals. Box kite. A 3D kite that flies steadily in strong wind. Delta kite. Triangle shaped, flies smoothly and easily. Parafoil kite. Soft kite without sticks, often used for sports. Dragon or animal shaped kites. Decorative kites seen in festivals. More important question answers. Question: what does the speaker wish for in the poem? Answer: the speaker wishes to be small and light as air so they could climb on a kite and sail up into the sky. Question: what does the speaker compare kites to in the first stanza? Answer: the speaker compares kites to colored birds flying in the wind-whipped sky. Question: what would the speaker hear if they were flying on a kite? Answer: the speaker would hear the songs that the wild wind sings. Question: what could the speaker see from up in the air? Answer: the speaker could see the park and the rooftops of the town below. Question: how would people on the ground react to seeing the speaker flying on a kite? Answer: people would stand and stare and they would wish they were the speaker high in the air. Question: when is the kite festival celebrated in India? Answer: the kite festival is celebrated during Makar Sankranti in the month of January. Question: which state is the main center of kite festival celebration? Answer: Gujarat is the main center of kite festival celebration. Question: what is Uttarayan? Answer: Uttarayan is the name given to the kite festival celebrated in Western India. Question: name two festivals during which Punjab celebrates kite flying. Answer: Punjab celebrates kite flying during Baisakhi and Basant Panchami. Question: why do people fly kites on Independence Day? Answer: people fly kites on Independence Day to celebrate India's independence, as kite flying is a tradition deeply rooted in Indian culture. Question: what does wind whipped mean in the poem? Answer: wind whipped means blown strongly or tossed about by the wind. Question: what is a synonym of drift as used in the poem? Answer: synonym include float, glide, sail or move gently. Question: find a word from the poem that means to move smoothly through the air. Answer: sail or fly. Question: who was Namdev? Answer: Namdev was a 13th century Marathi saint and poet who wrote about kites in his poems. Question: what did Namdev call a kite in his poems? Answer: Namdev called a kite a goody. Question: what were kites made from in ancient times according to Namdev text? Answer: kites were made from kagad, paper. Question: why is kite flying considered an important tradition in India? Answer: kite flying is deeply rooted in Indian culture and has been practiced since ancient times. It brings communities together during festivals and celebrations. Question: what is the main theme of the poem Up in the Air? Answer: the main theme is freedom, imagination, and the desire to experience the joy and wonder of flying high above the world. Question: What feeling does the poet create in this poem? Answer. The poet creates a feeling of wonder, joy, freedom, and childhood imagination. Question. How does the poem show the circular nature of wishes? Answer. The poem starts with the speaker wishing to fly like the kites and ends with people on the ground wishing to be like the speaker, showing how everyone desires what they don't have.
If you found this video informative, then please like and share, and subscribe to the channel Fair Notebook. Thank you for watching the video.
Click on next video to watch the video of the next lesson and click on full playlist for all the lessons of this topic.